Virginia's Democrat governor, already under fire for radio show comments, has come forward to apologize for a yearbook photo which shows him in blackface 35 years ago. Oh, but then wait, he takes back his apology, says he's not going to resign. Bill Maher brings a black congressman on his show and makes a fried chicken joke, and the Super Bowl ads fall flat, especially the one that praises journalists. I'm Bobby Eberly. This is a 13-minute news hour.
God bless the United States of America.
All right, let's jump into what Democrat Governor Ralph Northam is going through and has brought on himself. And by the time you watch this program, he may be resigned already. I know they were holding a meeting with staff, and we'll see how that comes out. But this guy has been through a week that I have not seen a politician go through, I think, ever. From down to lower to even lower to the surreal and the bizarre. Let's recap. First of all, you had New York State passing a law that basically allows abortion up until birth. Virginia was going to follow suit, and in testimony, a video emerged of Delegate Kathy Tran explaining what the bill would do. Here's a clip from that.
Where it's obvious that a woman is about to give birth. She has physical signs that she is about to give a birth. Would that still be a point at which she could request an abortion if she was so certified? She's dilating.
Mr. Chairman, that would be a decision that the doctor, the physician, and the woman would make.
I understand that. I'm asking
point.
if your bill allows that.
My bill would allow that, yes.
Okay, so to explain it, to try and tap down the controversy, the governor, Ralph Northam, went on the radio to try and put water on the fire that was burning. And here's what he said.
If a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother.
So he goes on the radio to make things better, and he just upped the whole situation. He said that the baby could be born, made comfortable, while then other people decide what's going to happen to this child that is sitting here who has been born. So naturally, all of us on the pro-life conservative side were outraged, and we started to speak out. The media didn't cover it. Nancy Pelosi was asked about it, and she said she really hadn't heard the comments. So it was all just this uproar from the right, which of course was falling to deaf ears on the media, up until a picture came out from Northam's yearbook 35 years ago that shows him in blackface. Whoa, now the media is involved. Now the Democrats are involved. Now they're saying this racism will not stand. And Pelosi's out there front and center with a tweet. Here's what she said. She said, "The photo is racist and contrary to fundamental American values. I join my colleagues in Virginia calling on Governor Northam to do the right thing so that people of the Commonwealth of Virginia can heal and move forward." So he apologized for the photo, said he wouldn't resign, but then came forward again saying that that photo wasn't him, that he's not going to resign because that wasn't him, although at a different time, he did dress in blackface for a Michael Jackson contest. And so he held another press conference because people are just stupefied, wondering what he's going to say. And that press conference was so weird. Here's a clip from Michelle Malkin on her take on it, talking to Fox News.
This was like really on the order of a 3 Mile Island meltdown, and especially that moment where a reporter asking the hard-hitting question of whether he could still do the moonwalk after he'd given this flabbergasting explanation about the Michael Jackson shoe polish, and then looking around as if he was about to do the moonwalk, the literal moonwalk, and having to have his wife tell him it was not a good idea.
So it's just strange what's happening there. And for me, the real deal with the whole thing is not the blackface picture from 35 years ago. It's the amount of outrage that the left and the media and the Democrats are placing on this photo, when here's a guy that went on the radio and supported abortion after birth. And that went unnoticed. That was no big deal. And yet this is the be-all, end-all, you must resign so the state can heal type of thing. And it leads to our second segment, which just shows the hypocrisy of the left. And I think that the main outrage against Northam is not some so-called racist act, because you can find reports and reports of Democrats saying all sorts of things. It's the fact that they're outraged because it went to such a high level. Because just this weekend, Bill Maher, left-wing comedian, but I repeat myself, he had Will Hurd, congressman from Texas, on to talk about border security, border wall. Hurd was in the CIA before Congress for 10 years. And he was telling Maher how he used to go on covert ops at 4 a.m. looking for the intel to keep our country safe, back alleys. And Maher said, oh, okay, I guess you were doing that by the Popeyes fried chicken. Here's the clip of what Maher says.
You were in the CIA?
I was in the CIA for almost a decade. I was the dude in the back alleys at 4 o'clock in the morning collecting intelligence on threats to the homeland. I did
That's
2
where they
years in
collect them, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
I did 2
by the
years.
Popeyes chicken.
So, I mean, okay, it's, again, there's outrage at Northam, but this is Maher saying this to this guy's face and thinking that it's funny. So Ben Domenech over at The Federalist tweeted out this in response. He says, Bill Maher insults black CIA vet by suggesting he picked up tips behind the Popeyes chicken, same day as Ralph Northam admits he submitted a racist blackface Klan photo to the yearbook. It's almost like this is a game to all of them. And it is. It's like, let's ignore what we can, and we'll only get hyped up if it really benefits us, if it makes us look like, oh my gosh, we're the advocates of peace and harmony and racism will not stand, and Northam's got to go. Bill Maher, he's okay, but this is too much. It doesn't matter that Northam supports, abortion after birth, but no, we can't handle a blackface photo from 35 years ago. It shows that the priorities are all screwed up, and it shows the priorities of the country when it involves race and these discussions, that everything has gotten to such a heightened level that people are not just mad, but furious and hurt about anything. Again, I don't mean to, belittle blackface in a picture 35 years ago, but, I'm half Hispanic, and I grew up in a town where I was around some kids that, make fun of me because I was Hispanic. And I never thought anything of it. I mean, I didn't really get offended. I just thought that these redneck hillbillies were idiots. And I just went on with my day. And so it's like, how far is too far, and what really is racism? I mean, if you're joking, most comedians make racial jokes all the time and people laugh. Kids will make fun of other kids because of differences. That's just a thing. It doesn't mean they're racist. Now, when it goes to the level of hating someone because of a difference or claiming superiority because of a difference, well, that's how wars are started, and that's how genocides occur. But just making a joke is not the same thing. And I think people just need to tone it down and relax a little bit and focus on what's important. When Democrats, well, there's not a single pro-life Democrat running for president. When you have this Virginia governor claiming that abortion after birth is okay, that's the real problem. Let's focus on the issues that really matter and just kind of relax on the stuff that doesn't, and have a sense of humor a little bit, which leads us to the Super Bowl ads. Now, there were a couple of them that were okay, that had some humor. Harrison Ford with his dog on Alexa was pretty cute, but for the most part, it was all like, oh my gosh, we're too afraid to offend anybody. Let's just pull on heartstrings and things like that. to make our point. And what it did was it led to a group of ads that were about as dull as the game. And I mean, I watched the whole thing and it just really was not that exciting. As far as the ads go, I did like Microsoft's with the disabled kids and showing their adaptive controls, which allow kids with disabilities to compete and play with their other kids. Now, they might not be able to go out and play baseball or shoot baskets or run around, but bring those kids together, play games with these controllers, and everyone's equal. They're just kids, they're just friends, and it was a really nice message. I liked Verizon's first responder ads, although I don't know if that's a little bit CYA, considering there's claims that they throttled data of firefighters back during the big firestorm last year. So you've got to wonder about that. But on the same hand, it was really cool to see these athletes who have been saved that were involved in accidents being able to talk to the people who saved them. I always find that touching, and I really like that. The one I didn't like, the one I thought might be some kind of joke, was the Washington Post had an ad about journalists and the importance of journalism. And it was just, I was just stunned to think that they spent $5.2 million on this ad to tell us how important journalists are to society. Here's the end of it for you.
Because knowing empowers us. Knowing helps us decide. Knowing keeps us free.
So, democracy dies in darkness, which of course implies that journalism is the light. That is the light of the country that will guide you to what? The truth. The problem is that Pravda in the Soviet Union was their media. It didn't guide them anywhere, and that was not a free society. And what you see now with the mainstream media is this collective thought on the left. It's groupthink, and anyone who thinks outside the permitted bounds is ostracized. They're gone after by the media. They're either ignored or they're attacked. So this whole idea that journalism is the path to truth is not what we see in today's society at all. You see an agenda-driven media, the mainstream pushing anti-Trump, far-left legislation, and candidates that want to bring socialism and communism to this country. And yet we have the Washington Post saying, hey, we're the beacons of truth. Even though we're one-sided, go ahead and join us, believe in us. I even got an email from the Washington Post today plugging that ad and urging you to get a subscription to their paper. So it's just nuts. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you feel about the Super Bowl ads. Northam, maybe he's resigned already. But if not, what do you think about the controversy involving him? Please subscribe to our channel and also check out the playlist for previous episodes. I'm Bobby Everly. This is a 13-minute news hour.